You have memorized the vocabulary. You have mastered the grammar. Yet, when you stand in a room full of native English speakers, the conversation still moves in a rhythm you cannot quite catch. This conversational gap is rarely caused by a lack of words. Native speakers rely on a hidden layer of communication, a set of unwritten cultural shortcuts that are not taught in standard textbooks. To navigate this, we need a different kind of map. The Illustrated Field Guide to English Proverbs serves as a definitive roadmap to mastering these unwritten rules. Understanding these specific phrases is the mandatory final step for anyone moving from standard language learning into true cultural participation. Daily communication is governed by cognitive load. Cognitive load is the total amount of mental effort being used in your working memory. Building every sentence from scratch requires significant mental heavy lifting. Explaining a logical justification is exhausting, the heavy barbell of conversation. A prepackaged social truth is light as a feather. These phrases compress human experience into short rhythmic units. Because the meaning is already agreed upon, they require zero processing power to understand. Native speakers use proverbs to prioritize efficiency and speed. They allow a speaker to convey a complex truth in a fraction of a second. This logic starts with emotional efficiency. When a negative event is finalized and cannot be changed, there is no utility in stressing over it. Don't cry over spilt milk instructs people to immediately drop the anxiety. In professional strategy, the focus is risk mitigation. Concentrating all resources or capital into a single fragile point of failure is dangerous. The warning to not put all your eggs in one basket highlights this systemic risk. Proverbs also establish a rigid hierarchy of interpersonal loyalty. The phrase, "blood is thicker than water," dictates that inherent family ties possess a natural priority that overrides casual or professional connections. To evaluate true character, native speakers look for physical follow-through. What a person actually does provides evidence of their character, rather than their verbal promises. Physical presence follows a dual logic. Distance intensifies emotional appreciation for someone, while close collaboration and many hands drastically reduce the difficulty of a task. These phrases act as a compressed behavioral manual. They provide immediate templates for managing daily risks and human dynamics without hesitation. There is a powerful linguistic trick used by insiders called truncation, intentionally cutting a common phrase in half. This relies on presupposition and shared cultural background. Leaving the phrase unfinished forces the listener to automatically retrieve the missing information. You hear this in every social scenario. A speaker mentions people who live in glass houses, and the listener understands the warning against hypocrisy. Take care of the pennies implies the accumulation of wealth. A bird in the hand justifies keeping a certain ascent. Truncation is a deliberate social test. By making the listener finish the thought, the speaker instantly verifies if they belong to the same cultural in-group. Disorganized collaboration carries a specific peril. Throwing excessive manpower at a task without clear leadership ruins the quality of the final product, as too many cooks spoil the broth. The guide also defines the anatomy of a breaking point. A system can endure a long accumulation of minor stresses until one final, incredibly small event makes the situation impossible to continue handling. There are social warnings against overworking. A lack of leisure damages a person's personality, resulting in a tired and uninteresting individual. We also observe the natural social dynamic, where individuals self-segregate. People with similar habits or interests naturally spend time together and form groups. Ignoring these social physics, whether in project management or personal health, guarantees friction when interacting with native speakers. This diagram maps the hierarchy of language proficiency. Knowing grammar and vocabulary are necessary steps, but represent only the first levels of communication. True cultural fluency sits at the center. Utilizing these shared shortcuts acts as a beacon, signaling you share their cultural background. These observations allow you to efficiently navigate life's risks, protect your character from burnout, and structure your teams with clarity. Mastery of these phrases moves your communication past literal translation. You are using the linguistic shorthand necessary to navigate human relationships with insider authority.